Hi friend, welcome back to another Everything is Art challenge. If it's your first time hearing about this, the Everything is Art challenge is a collaboration that I do along with my friends Anna and Leanne. I will link both of their channels down in the description box so that you can be sure to check out whatever they come up with for today's prompt. So as I was saying, this challenge is a seasonal challenge. And so essentially it's once every quarter. So spring, summer, fall, winter. And so with this challenge, we hope that by hosting it quarterly, it really gives everyone a chance to sit with that season's prompt and take the time to really think about it, kind of meditate on which direction you want to go with it creatively, and then figure out whatever way you want to interpret the prompt. Really what we want you to be doing is asking yourself, like, what does this prompt make me think or feel or remember or imagine? And how do I want to express that? And there's no rule beyond that. In fact, that's not even a rule. That's more of like a suggestion. It's more of like us telling you like how we approach it. But we really want this challenge to encourage all of us to do a little bit of deep diving into maybe the areas of your mind or in your imagination that don't really get touched because you're busy with the day by day. If you're interested in seeing what I created for our first seasonal prompt and our second seasonal prompt, respectively, called Dandelion and Being Human, I will also leave those linked below. This season, the prompt is fall, but it can also be interpreted as falling. In this zine that I made, you'll see at least two versions of my interpretation of the prompt fall. There will be nods toward literal fall, and there will also be nods toward actually falling. So on the cover, I have this illustration that I did back in August of a figure or an image of a person falling. And then it continues on the back cover. So this came from my first Commonplace journal. I just recently got a new one. I'm looking forward to sharing that one with you guys. And so the thought that I had was that the beauty of a fall is the opportunity to rise. So I'm glad that I had that moment, like a little light bulb moment that I was able to document here. I essentially completed this challenge today. Like, I did this whole thing in one day. In order for me to be able to do that and not eat up so much of my time, I had to, employ some of the things that I already had in my arsenal. It wasn't my intention to do it all in one day, but both of my kids happened to be sick for the last 2 weeks. Just by Murphy's Law, one of them had pneumonia and one of them had COVID. It was a time. And during that time of like high stress, low sleep, I did at times feel like I was falling and struggling to get up. Here, I've got, this idea of letting things fall intentionally in order to make room for the things that we should be holding on to. So I was trying to imagine and maybe illustrate someone, myself, whatever, juggling so many things. So she's meant to be juggling, if that wasn't obvious. Her mental health, her goals, things that she has to do, emails, time with family, her own self-care, feelings of guilt, joy, all of these things that we are juggling at any given time in our lives. And sometimes letting things go is what you need in order to kind of feel like a little bit lighter. In here, I used a spread that I already had created in this Midori journal. Anna and I lovingly call this our meeting journal. For a lot of my challenges, I like to do a mind map. It helps me figure things out. So I did a mind map and just did a lot of word association. Anyway, you're welcome to pause and, read this in more detail. I really enjoyed putting this together. So I printed this so that I could have that be the inside portion of my little zine. And then I wanted to have a little moment for sort of journaling my thoughts on the season, and maybe just a simple page dedicated to some things that I would like to let go of. I'm wanting to imagine me letting go of these things similar to how a tree lets go of its leaves. Fear is something that holds a lot of us back. It's something that I definitely battle with, and I try to combat with positive inner dialogue, and it's definitely something that I would like to be more intentional about letting go. So this is pretty much what I did. Really wanted to lean into the idea of taking a page from nature itself that is literally teaching us to let go, to rest, to regenerate, and to come back when we have felt rested and full of life again. But also playing with the idea of not being afraid to fall again. And there are lessons in every time we fall that we would otherwise miss if we didn't have those experiences. So, friend, I thank you for watching, for being here. I hope that you found this to be helpful as you hopefully dive into our prompt of the season. If you do, don't forget to tag us. Use the hashtag everythingisart2024, and we look forward to seeing all of your work and your meditations and your ponderings. Oh, and before I go, we would really love for the winter prompt to come from you, friend. So if you have a suggestion for a prompt that we could use for our next seasonal challenge, we would love to hear it. So please pile on into my comments and leave us a prompt. It could be a single word or a single phrase, whatever speaks to you. We'd love to hear it. Thanks so much for being here, friend. I will see you next time. Bye. I will be sharing down in the description box. Really? The vibes? What is happening on Clark? Why are you opening the door right now? Now? Can everybody be quiet? I'm sweating. Let's try this again. I just need like 30 minutes to get this out.
Go back.
Yeah. All right, let's try this again. Hi, friend. Welcome back. Let's call each other co-creators, friends. My co-creators, co-conspirators, whatever. I love motorcycle. Because that's not really showing either. I mean, it kind of is. Let's be real. I don't want to cut circles. And then this part, it won't really matter.